Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, Napheesa, you gotta stop. Napheesa, you gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop lying. Y'all have got to stop lying. I cannot believe the blasphemy Napheesa Collier spewed at the podium just now for Unrivaled, talking about all of us players are united and we're all on the same page. No,
come on, man. Seriously, come on. At some point, the lies have to stop. Napheesa, you have to stop saying things that simply aren't true. I'm shocked at what Napheesa Collier just said at the Unrivaled press conference. She stood at that podium and claimed that all the WNBA players are united, that everyone is on the same page, and that the entire league is moving together as one. But that is simply not reality. What you're hearing from people right now isn't frustration. It's disappointment. It's the feeling of being let down. When someone deeply connected to the WNBA community starts a video by urgently repeating, "You have to stop lying," something serious has changed. What broke is the carefully built narrative that WNBA players are fully unified heading into what might be the most important labor negotiation in the league's history. The person reacting to all this is Keep That Same Energy, a content creator who has spent years following the league closely. He was responding to comments that Napheesa Collier made on January 6 during an Unrivaled press event. Collier, who co-founded Unrivaled with Brianna Stewart, confidently declared that WNBA players are in complete agreement about the new CBA negotiations. She talked about strong unity, shared goals, and total alignment. But there's a major problem. Her statement completely contradicts what several WNBA players have been saying publicly for weeks. And these aren't retired legends or players on the edge of the league. These are some of the most influential players in the entire sport. Take Caitlin Clark, for example, the rookie who increased WNBA ratings by more than 170% almost by herself. She has openly said that players need to compromise and do whatever is necessary to make sure the 2026 season actually happens. That doesn't sound like she's ready to do whatever it takes for leverage. That sounds like someone who understands the value of staying on the court. Then there's Deja Kelly, who is fighting for a spot in the league. She openly admitted she is scared of a lockout because it threatens her job, her future, and her chance to grow in the WNBA. That fear is real for players like her. International players feel the same pressure. Several Australian players have said directly that they rely on their WNBA income because their home league pays only a small fraction of what American players earn. For them, a lockout isn't just an inconvenience. It's a financial crisis. So when Napheesa Collier stood there and claimed that everyone is united, it didn't just sound wrong, it sounded dishonest. During the press conference, Collier was asked about long-term stability for Unrivaled and the importance of ratings. She admitted right away that television deals are the biggest source of income. That's the truth. Without ratings, there is no TV money. Without TV money, no league can survive. But here's where things get complicated. Collier was speaking at an event for a league she co-owns. Unrivaled benefits if the WNBA suffers a lockout. If the WNBA season gets delayed or canceled, Unrivaled suddenly becomes one of the only options for fans to watch women's basketball. That isn't a rumor. That's basic business logic. Fewer WNBA games equals more attention for Unrivaled. And yet, Collier presented herself as a voice for the entire WNBA player body, insisting that everyone agrees on the negotiation strategy. No one in the room questioned her conflict of interest. No one asked how she could claim unity when Caitlin Clark had said the exact opposite just weeks earlier. Listen carefully to Collier's actual words. She kept saying, "I think it's been amazing," which already shows uncertainty. She also admitted she wasn't part of the last CBA negotiations, meaning she has no reference point for what true unity looks like. And her most important sentence was this: "We're willing to do whatever it takes to get what we think we deserve." The key phrase here is, "what we think we deserve." That language shows that even among the players pushing for aggressive negotiation, there is no agreement on what that actually means. Caitlin Clark's comments prove that. She emphasized compromise, not escalation. She talked about how important it is to keep playing games because that's how the league makes money, grows its fan base, and rewards players financially in the long run. She said clearly that both sides need to give something up, and she stressed the importance of keeping the 2026 season alive. That is nowhere near the same position Collier described. Clark even admitted the situation is complicated and said she can't speak for every player. A thoughtful, honest acknowledgement that the player group is diverse and not always aligned. Deja Kelly's words make the divide even clearer. She said, "I don't want a lockout. I'm scared." Her fear makes sense. A lockout doesn't hurt Collier or Stewart the way it hurts a fringe player. Big stars have endorsements, ownership shares, and alternative leagues waiting for them. But a player fighting for a roster spot has none of that. A canceled season means fewer chances to prove herself, no paycheck, no health insurance, no retirement contributions, nothing. The article that quoted Kelly explained this divide perfectly. Stars often have financial support from endorsements or overseas leagues. Players who are still trying to cement their place in the WNBA do not. Their entire professional future hinges on playing games, not sitting out. International players face an even tougher challenge. Australian WNBL salaries are extremely low. A WNBA lockout would take away the income they rely on the most. Projects like Unrivaled don't help them, because those leagues have extremely limited roster spots and generally prioritize big-name American players. So when Napheesa Collier says the players are unified, she isn't speaking for everyone. She is speaking for a very specific group with very specific financial safety nets. Her comments ignore the realities faced by the majority of WNBA players. Rookies, second-year players, international athletes, and players who are just trying to survive in a competitive league. That's why her words were so frustrating for people who understand the whole picture. It didn't feel like leadership. It felt like denying the real fears and concerns of the women whose careers are most vulnerable. When Kelly said she doesn't want a lockout and is afraid of losing her chance to build her career, she wasn't being dramatic. She was being honest. And honesty is exactly what has been missing from the conversation. Now let's talk honestly about what was said at the podium, and the conflicts of interest that make this entire situation even messier than it already is. Napheesa Collier and Breanna Stewart didn't just join Unrivaled as players. They co-founded the league. Kelsey Plum isn't just participating either. She owns equity in it. These women don't simply play in an off-season tournament. They are business owners with real financial stakes in a league that is now competing for attention, sponsorship money, and eventually even player loyalty. Unrivaled pays far more than the typical WNBA off-season salary. Reports say players can earn between $100,000 and $250,000 for a 10-week season. Compare that to overseas leagues. Some pay as low as $50,000, others go as high as $500,000 depending on the country and the player's fame. Unrivaled sits right in the middle: strong pay, no exhausting overseas travel, and much more media exposure. Here's where things become truly complicated. If the WNBA has a lockout or a canceled season, Unrivaled instantly becomes more valuable. If the WNBA shuts down, sponsors will shift their money to Unrivaled. Fans who want women's basketball will have only one place to watch it. TV networks and media outlets will cover Unrivaled instead of WNBA training camp. In that scenario, Collier and Stewart, who own Unrivaled, benefit enormously. That doesn't mean they want the WNBA to fail, but it does mean their incentives are not perfectly aligned with the league's long-term stability. So when Napheesa stands at a podium claiming that all players are willing to do whatever it takes and are completely unified, the question becomes, is she speaking as a WNBA player or as a co-owner of a league that profits from WNBA turmoil? Because those two roles don't lead to the same goals. And this is the heart of the issue. Her claim of unity simply doesn't match what players like Deja Kelly, Caitlin Clark, and several Australian players have been saying publicly. They aren't on the same page. Their concerns aren't the same. Their financial realities aren't the same. The truth is simple. Many players are looking out for themselves, and that's not wrong. What is wrong is pretending everyone agrees. Just say the truth instead of putting on a united front for the cameras. Get the deal done behind closed doors. Stop going to the media trying to push a narrative that isn't real. Most of the people talking the loudest have financial ties to leagues that directly benefit from WNBA instability. That makes their unity message feel empty. Players see it. Fans see it. Everybody sees it. And then there's Nneka Agwamike, the president of the WNBA Players Association. She signed with Project B, a brand new competitor league, while leading the labor negotiations. Project B, backed by Stewart and Collier as investors, launches in late 2026 and runs straight through April. That schedule overlaps with the WNBA season, which runs May through October. Project B isn't trying to be a side league, it's trying to be the main league. Project B's model includes higher salaries, better contracts, and a more player-friendly structure. They even made a huge offer to Caitlin Clark, reportedly around $5 million for one season. When your union president signs with a competitor that's openly trying to recruit the league's biggest star, it sends one message. Player leadership is preparing for a future where the WNBA is no longer the only option. That might be smart planning for individuals, but it weakens the collective bargaining position. Why would WNBA owners agree to major raises and revenue sharing when top players are preparing to jump to a competing league? So now look at the situation. Union president joins a rival league. Veteran stars own another rival league. Those same players are speaking for everyone, even though their situations are completely different. Younger players, international players, and fringe players publicly disagree. This isn't lockstep. This is confusion wrapped in a performance of unity. Meanwhile, the WNBA is coming off its most successful season in history. Attendance rose 22%. Television ratings skyrocketed 170%. Corporate partnerships surged by almost half. The league expanded to 13 teams with Golden State's new franchise. The momentum is real and the numbers prove it. This should be the moment when players and owners meet in the middle and create a deal that protects the growth they've finally achieved. Instead, the Players Association took an aggressive stance by opting out of the CBA early in 2024. That triggered negotiations that have now dragged on for more than a year, creating uncertainty for everyone. Teams don't know what the salary cap will be. They don't know how many players they can carry. They don't know the long-term revenue structure. This uncertainty affects everything: expansion plans, training facilities, sponsorship commitments. And while the players may think this is a strategic move, the uncertainty hurts all sides. Here's what the players want: 50% revenue sharing, up from the current 9%. Higher minimum salaries, expanded rosters, better travel, including charter flights, fully guaranteed contracts. None of these demands are unreasonable. In fact, they make sense. But there's a critical detail. The WNBA as a league has never been profitable. In 2023 alone, the league reportedly lost about $40 million. One explosive year in 2024 doesn't erase decades of financial losses. Owners want to raise salaries, but slowly, tied to long-term revenue, not just one great season. This is why compromise matters. And this is why Caitlin Clark's perspective is so important. Clark can afford to be patient. She earns millions from endorsements. A lockout won't ruin her career. But players like Deja Kelly don't have that privilege. They rely on WNBA games to earn income and secure a stable spot in the league. A canceled season could end their dreams entirely. Veteran players who spent years fighting for better treatment want big changes now. Younger players who entered during a period of growth don't want to lose momentum. Two different generations with two different realities. Both viewpoints are understandable. What's not understandable is pretending they're the same. That is why saying we are in lockstep is not just inaccurate, it's harmful. It hides the real divisions that need to be addressed for a fair deal to happen. Unity can't be forced or faked. It has to be earned, and right now, the player's situation is far too complicated for simple slogans. The path forward isn't pretending everyone agrees. The path forward is honesty, compromise, and respecting that players do not all share the same circumstances or the same future.